Hi everyone. This week I'll be reading to you excerpts from The Executive Gardener and the Fairy. These readings are meant for parents, the adults out there. We are all leaders to our children, and especially at this time when we are now thinking about reintegrating into our new normal, I thought it would be an interesting time to provide you with some thoughts that might help you reevaluate your mission, your vision. So let's get started. I'm going to start with the preface. In today's fast-paced, stressful world, where demands of the workplace are ever increasing, leaders must constantly be examining their own values and priorities while inspiring staff and our kids and maintaining incredibly high levels of productivity and quality. During this process, business life and personal life has become less than enjoyable for many people. A common statement can be heard echoing through the corporations of America: work is no longer fun. Moreover, this is spilling over into our home lives as people frantically try to balance priorities. Interesting. This was written 16 years ago. At Joie de Vivre, we are passionately committed to supporting, maintaining balance, creativity, flow, and fun at work while enhancing productivity. And we believe that this can be done every day around the water cooler. People need to give themselves permission and support to take the time to walk, talk, and laugh. So, the key dilemma is people need to give themselves permission to have fun and be playfully communicating, stretching boundaries of traditional business restraints. But how do we do it? It comes with our attitudes. Before we can truly relax and flow, creating an environment of playful synergy, we must look at what motivates us. And the question becomes, can we adjust our mindsets and expectations to better serve and inspire those around us? So this parable was written to address the issue of attitude. So often we are asked today, how do you want to be remembered? And in today's world, when there's an increasing number of baby boomers, vast majority approaching retirement or semi-retired, people are asking themselves, what is it all about, Alfie? And I would say, especially after COVID, we are really asking ourselves, what's it all about? This story was written to address these questions, and it's about a retired executive. But a haunting question from his daughter, Olivia: would you do it all over again? Or would you give more to your family than to the office? The hope is that the reader will follow Frank's strategies of self-examination, fine-tuning his or her own priorities, releasing tensions and inhibitions, bringing forth a sense of flow, fun, creativity, balance, and above all, service. So I'd like you to note that this is a fictional piece. The main character, Frank, was created based on my dad, Frank, and my father was not talking to fairies in the garden, and no, my mother did not pass away due to cancer. But after retirement, he did go through a lot of self-reflection and thinking about life. And I guess it was also because I was very, very cheeky upon his retirement to turn to him and say, Dad, would you have done it all over again? The same way? And he looked at me and he said, yes, of course I would. And I said, would you have given more to the office than to home life? Because you see, my father was a workaholic. And he looked at me and he says, "Of course, I am who I am because of what I did." Well, it's kind of interesting because through this process of creating the story, and as we talked, you'll see how his thinking evolved. Chapter 1. Approaching the brass ring. "Olivia, I only have a couple of minutes to spare. I thought I would try and get a hold of you while I had a minute," Frank quickly wrote, examining his day planner. It was 9 o'clock in the morning on February 1st, and he knew by calling his daughter in London, England, he would be catching her at a good time. She was a chip off the old block and kept a very busy, complex schedule. Like her dad, she was a master of multitasking and hated to waste time. The 65-year-old executive looked out at the magnificent growing Toronto cityscape from his 30th story window. "Gee, Dad, what a nice surprise to be interrupted with your call. I needed the break. What's up?" "I have to make a decision, Olivia. It's one I've put off. My boss has approached me to give my retirement date. I can't believe it's here. I know you said you wanted to be here for the event, so what would be the best travel time for you?" While he waited for a response, Frank opened his Microsoft Mail file, noting he had already had 40 new emails which needed attention since he last shut it down at 8 o'clock the night before. "What were you thinking?" asked Olivia. "I don't know. All I know is that I want you to be there. So when can you come?" said Frank impatiently. "How about the beginning of April? It's your birthday, April 1st, and we'll be able to celebrate. That should give you enough time to plan." "Sure, sounds good. Now, I'm thinking, wouldn't it be great if we asked all your friends over for a big retirement party, Dad? You know, so many people who I know would want to be there to share in this momentous event. We could have a cocktail party in the backyard. I could arrange for my friend to cater, and the rental of party equipment could be handled by—" Olivia was almost hyperventilating as her excitement mounted, thinking about the great party she would hold for her father. They hadn't really kicked up their heels since her mother died of cancer 3 years previously. They were still reeling from the trauma of her illness and death. Both of them had been functioning in a rather trance-like state. This would be an opportunity to celebrate. "Olivia, stop right there. Now, I know you mean well, but I'm looking forward to a quiet departure. I don't want a big fanfare. It's time to close this chapter in my life and move on. As a matter of fact, my boss wanted to arrange an intimate dinner party for my immediate working team and for my family. This is fine for me. I know you're well-intentioned, but you know, I haven't seen many of these people since your mother's funeral, and the bottom line is, I really just can't handle it." Frank always approached any issue in a pragmatic fashion. The minute things got too emotional, Olivia noticed that her dad clicked a mental switch. Instantly, control reigned. He turned into Spock from Star Trek, a total logic-based thinking machine. Years ago, this enraged Olivia and caused her to be stubborn, defiantly initiating wars of words. She knew exactly the words that would push all his buttons, and bingo! In a matter of minutes, they would be in a huge argument. Now, almost middle-aged, married, and experienced with the opposite sex, Olivia had came to accept this in her father. She realized his reactions were reflective of his generation and a male problem-solving style. She also realized he was all that she had since her mom was gone. Was it worth fighting? No. The bottom line was, this was his retirement and not hers. So if he wanted to finish off with a quiet celebration, so be it. "Sure, Dad, that would be fine. I'll come out on March 26th. That will give us a few days to visit, assuming that your work final day and dinner party will be March 30th. I will have to leave for London after dinner. Brian and Joseph have plans for my birthday, and that will give me enough time to travel and rest." Olivia answered with efficiency. "Great. Okay, I better get going. I have a meeting at 9:30. Talk with you soon, answered Olivia in a childlike, higher-pitched voice, adding, I miss you. Me too, responded Frank in a matter-of-fact tone, trying to hide his emotions. He always hated hanging up with his daughter. The click of the receiver left a hollowness in his stomach and an ache in his heart. The weeks leading up to his retirement were exceptionally busy. Every night Frank met instant deep sleep when his head hit the pillow. He was so busy he wondered how he was going to finish all the projects before his departure. He hated to leave anything incomplete. Closure was the ultimate importance to him. In the back of his mind, he did speculate about why he might be exceptionally busy. The question that occasionally surfaced was, did he manufacture all this work so that he would not have to think about the looming ending?